Hello everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing this Vampire Air Elementalist for week 6 of the Crawl Sudden Death Challenge. And it looks like the server is back to being reasonably responsive. I'm not sure if it was a server problem or something on my end. There were some other people complaining about this server as well, but also I realized I had some dumb stuff on my network, so could be anything. So we're getting back into it, and as I recall, yeah, there's just a bunch of nasty stuff downstairs, and I don't really want to fight any of it. I think the thing I'm going to go for is that crocodile in the northeast. Or maybe Edmund? Is this the staircase I want to use? It's really not. So let's go grab this one or something. Okay, those are escape hatches. Where are the other upstairs? There's one there. There, that's a fine one to take. All right. Oh, I forgot to rest. Well, let's make sure the mic is going. The mic is going. All right. Cool. There was one floor right where there was like a missing staircase. Maybe that was a previous run. Yeah, it had a Zin altar. That was a different game. Or maybe it was this game and I just didn't care about Zin. I don't remember. There is this thing on Dungeon 3 that it would be nice to go back to once I feel capable of killing Sigmund if I still haven't found an altar. But in the meantime, I think this crocodile might be the least scary thing on the floor. But Edmund is closer, so we're going to have to deal with him first, it looks like. And he doesn't have any spells. All he can really do is just chase us and hit us with a flail. I'll grab this ring, why not? I didn't pick it up because Edmund was there, but... So one thing I was thinking about is trying out, actually putting experience into my slings. -5 ring of protection. I am going to pass on that, thanks. Did we lose him? Where did he go? I guess we lost him. I mean, in a sense, that's fine, but yeah, he was also in the direction I wanted to go. So, yeah, he seems to be... All right, let's just explore this area Edmund was in, now that he's not there. And, I mean, Pykle could be manageable, maybe. Worker Ant, I think ought to be okay. And we have a Wand of Hasting, which is like extremely valuable. We don't have any recharging for it, but haste is just such a strong buff. And we have like 9 charges of it. So, I think if I were going to fight, say, Pykle, it would be a good idea to use hasting for the fight. But since I can always run away as a bat and come back later, I can sort of try picking off the slaves first. Like there. One of them woke up and shouted, and he woke up the others. So what I'm going to do is shut the door and fly away before the others see me. Yeah, so now we sort of have them isolated a bit. There's a distant slurping noise. Apparently there are jellies on the floor somewhere. But now we've got 1 slave, which is great. You don't get any experience for killing these guys, but they are a big part of what makes, what's his name? Pykle scary, is the slaves. Is this metal? No, it's stone. All right, so we'll zap him. Yeah, that's more effective, for sure. So if you can just sort of charge in there and kill Pykle, it's sort of easier because then you don't have to deal with the slaves. They become friendly when you kill him. But if you can't, you can reduce the difficulty of the Pykle fight by removing the slaves first. And if you can isolate them, then they're not so hard. It's not something I love to do, but, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, this giant frog, not a big deal. I really would love to have some Kiku abilities, like a book. Is shock? Shock is at full power, but I do have static discharge still. I got to remember that. I don't think I've even used it all game. But I don't know. It's been a couple days since I last recorded, and I don't totally remember everything I did. So I could be getting some of the details wrong. This is all metal. I don't really know why. I mean, I guess it's just, there's really two choices, right? There could be a vault in there, or it could just be that this side of the level is themed as metal for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm still getting a little bit of lag-ish stuff on a few events. Like, most of these are going pretty fast, but some of it is not great. It seems like it's reasonably safe anyway. I'm not doing anything that, you know, where I'm playing fairly cautiously, and so the fact that some events take a while to come back is kind of okay, because the main danger is, is that you are like pushing keys in advance in sort of like anticipation of, oh yeah, I'll tab him and then I'll move south and then I'll move east. And you sort of think one of those has already fired when it hasn't, and then like you're pushing keys to perform actions that don't correspond to the actual state of the game, but like what it was a little while ago. And when you get sort of mentally out of sync like that, you can end up doing some pretty dangerous things. So in theory, like what you want to do is always wait for your last action to appear on the screen before you take another one. And if you're playing like locally, that's no problem at all. Everything happens instantly. And when you're playing on the server, it's usually not a problem. Like you sort of get used to the 1/10 of a second or whatever delay it is in between keys. And usually like you can just sort of hit keys because nothing too bad happens. And so when there is some lag, or whatever this is, you know, latency, I guess, it can sort of upset the delicate balance of how you're used to playing. And there's Zoan and Duvessa. I was hoping to like sneak up and get just one of them, but I'm a bat, so I can always get just one of them if I want. But that was a centaur, which is a little bit frightening. I'm gonna, yeah, leave bat form, shut that door so that Doan and Duvessa have a harder time finding me, and then like I was hoping I could maybe find the centaur, but there's Pykel. And so there, like, I saw him when I was on this tile that I'm standing on here, but I had already queued up an action to move this way, and so like I wasted 2 whole turns. You know, and in this situation it's not so bad, like I can just fly away, but you know, if you're in the middle of combat, especially, or if you are about to be in the middle of combat but don't realize it, that can be super dangerous. Yeah. I'm a little bit unsatisfied with all of that. All right, I think we can just catch him in this little nook here. He has a whip of freezing, but we're quite cold resistant, so yeah, this is going to be fine. And Air Magic gained 2 levels, wow. All right, well, let's slow that down and get some defenses up. And maybe a little stealth, although honestly, we're still stealthing past things relatively effectively, so I think this is fine. I guess spellcasting we don't really need either. We have enough MP for the moment. And enough spell levels since there are no other spells we want to learn. So I think just get defenses like this, huh? Yeah, let's actually focus these 2 and just put a little bit of experience into stealth. So by like focusing 2 skills and just learning another one, I'm sort of effectively de-emphasizing that one. +1 robe. Well, that is better than +0 leather in that it is slightly lighter and protects you just as much. Okay, so we're gradually clearing the exclusions on this floor. And we found a book. That's great. And now Doan has seen us, but Duvessa hasn't, which is perfect, because I wanted to kill Doan first. This is all metal. I want to get him where there's like a stone bounce area. Right? Like this is all metal, which I don't like very much. Electricity doesn't bounce off of metal. Ooh. Alright. Yeah, the centaur's not so bad in melee range. So I'm just going to kill him. And maybe pull Doan upstairs? I think it's safer to just go upstairs and heal and then come back. There's Doan. Where is there some like actual rock walls we can use? Up here? Yeah. So I'm gonna take off here. Make him follow me to here. Doan? Hello? Doan? We lost him. There he is. Yikes. He's blinking and like losing track of us, I guess. There's this jelly? We're like a lot stealthier than I thought we were. Stuff keeps losing track, like when I'm just gone for a few turns. It's possible the freed slave distracted him, maybe? Yeah, he's actually fighting the freed slave, which is nice. So I'm being careful here when I'm zapping this, but I'm not... When you target a spell, you can press Enter or F, which do the same thing. They shoot in that direction, and if you miss or the bolt carries through, it like just goes as far as it can. But you can also aim sort of at a floor tile, as opposed to at like in a direction. And so I'm aiming here, so the bolt is going to stop when it gets to Doan and not carry through to the freed slave. We don't want to make him angry. Great. So that's Doan taken care of, and now we just have to find Duvessa, get her berserk to wear off. There she goes, she's berserk. But we can outrun... I'm marked. Where even was that? I didn't hear a thing saying you step into an alarm trap. What? That's weird. But okay, I'm marked and I don't know why. And I would have liked to fight Duvessa while she was exhausted. But since I got marked... Oh, speaking of which, Grinder knows where I am now. Because he's on this floor. But anyway, since I was marked, I wanted to get upstairs and wait it off there in a safer area. Even though it means I don't get the opportunity to fight Duvessa while she's slowed. You know, it's going to be all right. Just as long as she's not berserk, it ought to be okay. Oops, there she is. Whoop, you know, wasted a turn walking towards her again. But this doorway should be pretty easy, because she's not going to cast any spells at me like Doan would. She's just going to charge right into the doorway. And I can conveniently and safely bounce her as much as I want. And I think we're just about done with this floor. The last thing left is to, like, go check out that crocodile. Let's just drink this. Sure. Yeah. Well, I guess actually, let's go check out the area where Doan and Duvessa were. Book of Maledictions. Vampires are very good at hexes. That's something we could pick up. This is like the Enchanter starting book, which would be great for a vampire if I were going to be stabbing things. But since I want to be trying to go no melee, it's not really going to work out that well. I could learn Dazzling Spray, and like there's some good spells in here all the same. Like Dazzling Spray is a conjuration that should be stronger than Zap, than Shock rather, and you know, sort of bridge the gap to Lightning Bolt. And Tukima's Dance is a good one for taking away enemies' weapons. So I think I'll go ahead and learn it and study up some hexes. Yeah. And I'll just de-emphasize fighting and dodging here. And let's put it on Z. Sure. Dazzling Spray. All right, so there's nothing else down here, but we got that book, which is nice. And now we can go check out the crocodile, who has woken up from the alarm trap, of course. So I'll just clear the exclusion. And let's, well, I was going to say, let's see how Dazzling Spray does, but it's still kind of at a high failure percent, so I'm not really excited about casting it yet. It could just result in a waste or a loss of 3 MP basically. But, you know, for an Orc Warrior or something, maybe I would be happy to do that. What is he wielding? A trident. All right, so he is already in melee range, so we need to be a little careful. Orc Warriors are a serious threat this early. It's not super early, you know, we're Dungeon 6, but it's still early. And I'd like to get him into a corridor, somewhere I can bounce, that is. But this is going all right, and I have plenty of opportunity to back off. All right, I no longer have plenty of room to back off. I have to do it now. Okay, did he lose me already? No, he's just back there. Okay, so that was handled somewhat incautiously, and I did it just because I judged that I would be able to handle any bad outcomes, and it was easier than being super cautious. And, you know, that turned out to be right. There was a bad outcome, and I handled it. But you can't do that with every threat. I judged that an Orc Warrior couldn't, like, surprise kill us. Well, let's head back down. Let's head down to Dungeon 7. I'm still keeping an eye out for, like, when I can go back and fight Sigmund. It seems like I might be okay at the moment. No, because Confuse just makes it, like, impossible for me to beat him. And I can't take that kind of a chance. Let's just read this scroll. Acquirement. Really? Normally, I would be wishing for a weapon this early, because a weapon can make a big difference. But with no weapon skills trained, and like not being good at any weapons, like I'm likely to get a melee weapon, and even if I got a ranged weapon, there's no reason to suppose it would be anything that I want to use. It could be, you know, a better hunting sling or something, but odds are it would not be. It's weighted towards your skills, but not your current equipment, and my skills in weapons are all basically 0, I think. Could acquire a wand. I already have hasting, but like heal wounds, teleportation, those would both be fantastic. I could go for armor, which is like never a totally awful choice, but it's rarely a good choice. I could go for book, but I just found a book with some decent spells in it, and so I don't think I need to. Like, I have Lightning Bolt and Dazzling Spray and Tukima's Dance to work on. Miscellaneous, I don't really have any evocation skill at the moment. I think I'm just going to go with Wand. If it's one of the big 3, like, that would be great. If it's not, maybe it's something that I can put some points into evocations for. I think my second choice, I don't even know. Book, jewelry, armor, they're all, like, not very good. But one of them is probably better than the others, and I just don't know what it is. I'm going to take Wand. Enslavement. That's pretty good. Okay, Dazzling Spray is getting cheaper. I don't know that I really need Swiftness at all, like looking at it. I think Vampire Bat Speed is... Well, I guess it's less reliable to become a bat at this point in the game. I'm more likely to fail than I am to fail at Swiftness. But I think you move faster as a bat, and it doesn't stack with Swiftness, so bat form is just better. Well, it's not. It makes you move faster. It's not necessarily better because it takes away all your equipment, or most of it anyway. You know, bats can't wear gloves and so on. Okay, so it's all going fine here. Scroll of Recharging, that's great. It means I have even more hasting. I don't have any, yeah, no identify, okay. We're finding all these skeletons, which I'm totally fine with. They're so dumb, they're easy to line up in corners. Sure, yeah. That's spooky. I mean, it's not a trap. I just don't know what to do with it. Oh, I want to try on this other robe. +2, sure. So, I mean, if I acquired armor, I might find something pretty good, but I also might just get like a +0 cloak. I don't know. That would even be fine. Every bit of armor I can get at this stage is fine. If I were to acquire a spell, what would it be? It would be like air, probably. But it's not weighted that heavily, I don't think, towards your current spells. So it would just be like a kind of useless. I don't want a book. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take armor. Sure. It's a hat. Sure. +1 hat of magic resistance. Okay, well, that's better than a helmet, just barely. I mean, it's 1 less armor, but I have magic resistance now. So, like, I actually feel reasonably okay about going chase down Sigmund. I have curing if I actually do get confused. So let's actually go do that now. Let's head back to Dungeon 3. Just in case, you know, the altar we're looking for is there. I don't want to put it off any longer than I have to. Please. Oh my gosh. 8 mana to kill 1 Shadow Imp. I mean, not that it mattered there, like, it's just, we were missing a lot. Okay, chop this up. Bottle it, rather. It's the same key as butchering stuff, so... Alright. We could also kill Purgy at the moment, right? Like... It still says he's red, which surprises me. Have we, like, not leveled that much? I mean, we're level 9, right? I guess I'm gonna try Purgy first. And I'd rather come at him from over here. Just because I can get away from Purgy no matter what. Yeah, so the map thing wasn't updated. He's actually just dangerous, not extremely dangerous. Not that it like matters that it says he's dangerous. I just was surprised that that's what it thought, because I think we can handle him. Yeah, can't Dazzling Spray him from here. So what are the odds of like enslavement here? Should be quite bad. Huh. Even at 0 Evo, it's all right. How about Dazzling Spray? What are the odds on that again? 14. It would be nice if you were blind. So he's blind. Great. Well, okay. So it didn't actually do much to blind him. The shocks are what's doing all the damage, and yeah. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a little break here. And he wasn't guarding anything, but we got some experience and confirmed that we are feeling stronger. So I'm going to head to Sigmund, who At level 9, is he still a threat? He might be. I'm not really sure. Come on, Ice Beast, please be dead. Oops, I didn't bounce that one. There we go, and a gecko, sure. So I'm sort of not managing this combat very well. I'm still getting kind of not the best network connection, which is a little disappointing. I'm gonna have to play this character eventually, and if the .17 tournament is slowing down CAO, like I could go play on some other server, but this character is on this server. I can't move him. I don't really think I'm gonna need haste here. I'm just gonna charge in. And then I'm gonna back off like so, because I think he can do more damage at range than I can, really. Is there anything I could quaff? Yeah, so I could do some various things. I should really just drop this lignification. I can't use it when I'm thirsty. I think you have to be actually full to change shapes. So some of the question is, do I try to dazzle him? Razmadaz, there we go. Oh, yeah, that just murdered him. Okay, cool. So that woke up the goblins, but they're no concern at all. And now we can check out what's in here, see what we missed earlier, which has been, what is the word? What is going on? There's a million goblins in here. It has been gnawing at me. Like, is that a word or an idiom you can say? Like, it's been gnawing at my not my conscience, but like just, it's been bothering me. I want to know what it is and make sure it wasn't the altar we wanted. But it was just nothing. Okay. Fine. There's some boots. Are we already wearing boots? Yeah, we found a ton of boots this game. Okay. Well, alright, so that's that. No big temple here. Or rather, altar. But we've now done our due diligence. We've gone and looked, and it wasn't there. And now we can carry on exploring. And it shouldn't be too long, really, before we find it. It has to be on 7, 8, or 9. And I think I can at least, I don't know. We've been doing the dungeon floors pretty slowly, but I would like to find Kiku in this video and then end the video, I think. Hopefully that gets a video that is of reasonable length and also doesn't involve dying. Like, you know, I don't want to end it right now because it's been a pretty short video. But I also don't want to be like, oh, there's the Kiku's on Dungeon 9, and now I'm going to have, like, a very weak relationship with my god all game. I mean, not all game, right? You build it up eventually, but it matters the most in the early game. Book of Clouds. That's an Air Mage's wet dream, really, but, I mean, we're not the best Air Mage in the world. We're really bad at conjuration and not that good at air. But Freezing Cloud, like if you can get that online, or Poisonous Cloud, those are both really good spells. How are we at Ice? We're 0, Poison -1. Ugh. Well, you know, -1 is bad, but it's not a big deal. The big deal is our -3 Conjurations aptitude. That really does make it harder, substantially harder, to get skills going. And you know, you can overcome it, but it's just gonna mean everything takes longer. And I'll be trying to cast spells mostly with my other skills and let conjurations lag behind, I think. But I'm gonna need conjurations, some way to do damage from range. I guess the other answer to that, hey, it's the Spriggan Baker. The other answer to that is, of course, necromancy. So maybe I won't need much conjurations after all. Spriggan Baker is a little bit troubling, actually. Right, because Spriggans have a ton of EV. You know, this first shot will hit because it's asleep. But after that, you know, it has a ton of EV. I guess I can just and it like is as fast as a vampire bat, I think. Maybe even, well, it can't be faster, but it's fast anyway. Yeah, I think I can static discharge it. It's just like it's only guarding bread, which I don't want as a vampire. So there's not a lot of reward for killing this except for the experience. And there's some risk. Like Spriggans are one of the few monsters that can chase down a vampire. So I think I'm actually going to pass on that. And now we'll just have like a permanent reminder where the Spriggan Baker is. Oh, it actually says, that's interesting. It says Exclusion Spriggan instead of Exclusion Spriggan Baker. I know that like there's no, so the way the Spriggan Baker vault is defined is there's no such monster as Spriggan Baker in the game. It's just a Spriggan who has been, in the map definition, they've said change its name to Spriggan Baker. And so it's interesting that the annotations and exclusions don't actually respect the fake name Spriggan Baker. I just really don't want to fight Arolka at all, so I'm really glad that I picked up that stealth. We're just gonna back off there. Polymorph, all right. You know, I don't have a lot of evocations, so it won't work that well, but it's, again, good to have. Monsters are starting to get scary. This is why I don't like to go so deep in the dungeon this early. You know, I'd rather find lair. I mean, this is just dungeon 8. You have to go this deep. So I guess a Hippogriff isn't that bad. Dazzling Spray? Yeah, hexes... Our hexes are twice as high level as our conjurations and still twice as easy to train. We're just so bad at conjurations and so good... Oh, look at that, more boots. And so good at hexes that that it's just very rarely productive to train conjurations for us. Even though that's what we're relying on to do damage right now. Yeah, not going to fight Maurice either. Let's just go grab another staircase. I guess since I can see invisible, Maurice isn't as bad as he would be for a lot of characters, but there's still just like no real reason to do that. He's the thief, Maurice the thief, and he like turns invisible and steals your stuff and then blinks around and teleports himself. And he uses your stuff too. Like, what a jerk. Yeah, that evasion of 23 makes me pretty happy. I'm noticing, of course, that my hit points are going down and they're not going back up because we're bloodless and we're not biting things. We're just zapping them, so we're not like drinking their blood while we fight. So that's something I'm trying to keep an eye on. Stone walls, huh? I don't want... I know that before too long I'm going to have to drink a potion of blood to get my HP back. For the moment, I'm happy not to. Being immune to poison is nice. Immune to whatever negative energy might show up. So I'm not in a hurry to fix it, but I am aware that it needs to be looked at. Okay, what's in here? I'm very interested in every vault that I see, which is mostly like stone walls. This early in the game are usually a vault of some sort. Later, it might just be like this floor of the vaults is in stone or whatever. I think there are like vaults floors that are just... What? Okay, he fell down a stair. A shaft from Dungeon 5 to Dungeon 8, apparently. Okay, sure. So monsters normally stay on one level unless they're following you down some stairs, but they can fall down shafts just like you can. And I think sometimes they can voluntarily take stairs, although that's pretty rare. And they certainly can't take 2 levels of stairs. So he must have fallen down a shaft while we were on Dungeon 5. So that's interesting. I'm thinking we just fight him, right? I mean, experience is good, and we're bloodless right now. So he has a very low chance of paralyzing us. Pain can't hurt us. And his melee attack is... we can basically just shrug it off. So I'm going to try Dazzling Spray. It didn't work. I mean, it did a little damage, but it didn't blind him. Let's see. Yeah, let's bounce here. Okay, so this is going fine. Grinder blinks. Just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait here for you, buddy. All right, great. Let's memorize Takima's Dance. Like, that's easily castable since we've been training some hexes. Is there anything else we wanted to learn? I mean, I guess might as well pick up Confuse. Could get us out of a tight spot. I don't plan to, like, Confuse is very good if you're stabbing things, and it's strong in general, but especially if you're stabbing things, it incapacitates them, so you can get a stab and they basically can't hurt you. What is this? Oh, we're gonna have to go through a Rolka, aren't we? Alright, well, I'll try everything else before I do that. Gastronach with the Hat of Pondering. Well, we're certainly not fighting Gastronach right now. That is just not a thing that's going to happen. He's even worse than a Rolka, I would argue. I don't know. I mean, he's very, very, very slow, so you can just walk away from him. And he's wearing the Hat of Pondering, which I think would slow him down even more. It slows us down if we wear it. Would I wear the Hat of Pondering? It's an interesting question. I might. It melds when you turn into bat form, so you can still run away if you need to, which actually is really cool, now that I think about it. You know, you don't always want to run away in bat form. Sometimes you just want to reposition in combat, but... oh, great, Gastronoch's probably awake now. It's Crimson Imp shouting. But that's something I hadn't thought about, is that the Hat of Pondering on a vampire could be pretty cool, I guess. And we're going to be relying on spells, so the int and magic bonus are great. I'm just going to drink some blood here. I don't like how low my health is getting. Ugh, I hope Rolka is not guarding the altar we want. Who is this? This is Maurice. Has the hound barked or anything? Oh, no, but when I opened this door down to the southeast, it made a loud noise, and something shouted, which, surprise, was Maurice. So let's just do that, and come back up this way. Maurice may well have lost us by now. How much teleport do we have? We have 4 scrolls of teleport. Okay. So I don't really anticipate needing to teleport here, even if Maurice were to find me. You know, he's not the sort of threat you exactly need to teleport away from. He's just sort of a... He hurts a little, but mostly he just steals your stuff, and that means you have to chase him down to kill him, not run away. You know, in broad strokes. This is not, you know... I'm not a doctor, you know, consult your doctor before following my advice, but, you know, Maurice, I usually end up tracking him down rather than running away from him. But it's just useful to be aware of, your escape options sort of at all times. And so it just occurred to me while I was chasing him, like, I'm running from stuff into unknown territory. How am I going to get away? Is what I suddenly thought about. I can't open friggin' doors. Fine. Grow some dang hands. How come the doors are all creaking? I've got, like, plenty of stealth. Alright, so I'd actually rather go down to Dungeon 9 than fight Arolka. So hopefully I will find what I'm looking for there. And not have to fight Arolka here. But if I do have to, I don't know. I can probably lure her away from the door, is going to be the plan. Rather than actually fight her there. Just sort of wake her up and then run away. And then later circle back. There's Maurice again. This guy who does not quit. Alright. Let's just run up this way. Here's some stairs. Take a quick rest here, and down we go. So we're not encountering anything that's too difficult to manage. There are some threats that I don't want to fight, but I don't have to fight them. You know, we could be running into threats that I don't want to fight, but I have to. Like, if that Spriggan had been awake, for example, I would have had to fight it, probably. Or, you know, if this Orc Priest were like closer to the stairs, I might be having some issues. Or if I were just dumb and let him get close to me. You know, that's something that it's easy to be overconfident about, is like just try to fight an Orc Priest and then only realize later that he's really close to you and you can't actually kill him. Or, you know, the combat has just gone worse than you expected and now you can't retreat. You know, Orc Priests deserve respect. So here, I was comfortable fighting him because I was far enough away that I could conveniently run if my spells were unlucky and he were lucky. Can I confuse this guy? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's gonna help. Yeah, okay. So that's something I should have thought about using on the Orc Priest, perhaps. But I knew he had low enough hit points that just sort of continuing to zap him would eventually do it. And I'd love to get... He fell down a shaft. Well, he was almost dead, and we didn't get to kill him. Oh, well. But this is Dungeon 9, so we really ought to... Oh, really? A Book of Necromancy, you say? Really? Well, that's quite a bit of news. That's like what I wanted Kiku for, was basically this Book of Necromancy. I mean, and also for late game, you know, I mean, not just late game, all game, being able to request corpses makes a necromancer a lot more manageable. It means you can rely more heavily on your necromancy skills and not need a way to generate the initial slew of corpses. But having animate dead here is really great. I am going to learn that immediately and start training necromancy. Yes. Oh. I'm sort of running out of spell slots that make sense to me in my head. Huh. Well, whatever. We can't cast it yet anyway. And I think we have plenty of all this stuff. Let's just necromancy. There we go. So that was a great find. Even though we're going to be taking Kiku anyway, and we'll get some spells. A Great Sling is, I think, an improvement, right? Yeah. I guess I haven't been using the sling very much, so maybe I'll keep it on for the evasion and then like swap if I need to do damage. But I also should remember to use it a little more, right? I mean, sure. So I was talking to some other guys about how I'm trying to do no melee this week, and it sounds like next week, which is going to be the last week of the Crawl Sudden Death Challenge, is also going to be compatible with no melee. Like you'll start with a book or be a hunter or something. So I don't necessarily have to do it this week, but I think I can, and I'd like to get it out of the way. There are going to be a lot of things that I want to do next week. I don't know what they are, but we've been told that the last week is going to have more bonus challenges. Like each week normally has 3 points worth of bonus challenges you can do, like a tier 1 and a tier 2 bonus. And my understanding is that the next week, the last week, there's going to be either like 10 points or 13 points worth of challenges. I don't quite understand which it is. I could go look, but it doesn't really matter to me. Here's Gressup's ghost, a novice merfolk wanderer. That's too bad. Gressup is one of the guys in my clan, so I guess he died here recently, huh? I'm just going to go share this with him real quick. Yeah, so we're just not going to fight this. I don't have anything to deal with a ghost, really, just aside from not dealing with it, which is sort of the vampire way of dealing with things. Yeah, so let's just get out of there. Okay, there's this dang ghost. Get out of here, Gressup. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to record a video here, man. All right, are we getting close to exploring all of Dungeon 9? No, we're about halfway done though. And I think the only area we haven't explored is Erolka's little fortress thing on Dungeon 8. So if it's not here, I'll be pretty sure where the Kiku altar is. A sky beast, huh? Immune to lightning, you say? And a troll. What about if we like just confuse this chump? Sure. And swap to a great sling. And Takima's dance this orc warrior? Yeah. Oh gosh, this is a tomahawk. I thought it was like somehow the battle axe had become friendly and appeared behind me. Just because I remember I played a game where I was Rue. I worshipped Rue, and I took Takima's dance, and all the weapons I animated became unfriendly to me because I sacrificed love to Rue. And so I was briefly panicking, like, did this happen to me again? Even though it makes no sense. Yeah, so hexing is pretty cool. We're hexing a lot of stuff here. Even though we're not getting stabs. It's helping out a lot. The troll is killing the wyvern for me. Cool. Let's just zap out this troll, I guess? Yeah. Okay, let's run. So, like, I don't think our Confuse is actually going to last very long since it's pretty low power. The troll bites the Sky Beast. The Sky Beast is killed. Great. So this fight has been a bit of a mess. Not in the sense that it's been going badly. It's just complicated. A lot is going on. Oh my gosh. Is my Great Sling just really crappy? Like, I think it just has a bigger accuracy penalty. Yeah, accuracy -1, accuracy +2. Yeah, I guess for a completely untrained sling user, I'd rather be using the +1 hunting sling. It's just going to hit more reliably, which matters. more than hitting for a bit more damage when you're otherwise missing most of the time. And the evasion bonus is nothing to sneeze at either. Confuse doesn't seem great. How about dazzle him? Oh, just killed him. Great. Oh my god. Knock it off. This guy. Let's just get up here, back to these stairs so I can rest a bit. Okay, fine. Now... a test of endurance, this no melee thing. There was a challenge that was not so much a test of endurance in, I think I've probably mentioned, in week 1, I took the challenge of win the whole game without going to lair at all. Nice, Anime Dead is getting there. Which, you know, there's just a ton of experience in lair. And Edmund fell down a shaft too? What is this? Alright. Gosh, wasn't he on like Dungeon 6? Yeah, he was. And so that was, in particular, like, you get a bunch of experience before your first rune in lair. So you can't even, like, you can't go to vaults to get experience because vaults needs you to have a rune to get in. And why is there a trapdoor spider here? This makes like 0 sense and is kind of scary. But it looks like this is going all right. I need to keep an eye on things. And let's Tsukima's this guy. Okay. Okay, good. Anyway, and that was not so much. I mean, there was endurance involved, but like it was very challenging at all times. This so far has been like not so much a challenge as, I mean, I don't know. I guess we could maybe be killing a few more monsters and running away from fewer if we were allowed to use melee. But mostly it's just been like put up with how horrible it is to have to deal with monsters this way. Are you, like, he doesn't know where I am. I don't know why he is pillar dancing instead of going in some direction. Ah, there we go. Now he's, okay. So he didn't actually see me. I don't know. Maybe that was not the best way to handle things, but I did get out of there without him seeing me, so there's that. An Eye of Draining. This is a weirdo vault here. Why would there be an Eye of Draining, a trapdoor spider? The only thing I can think of is, like, they're shapeshifters, maybe? I didn't see whether we got an actual trapdoor spider corpse, or if it just didn't leave one, or if it turned into... Can you blind these? I don't know. Probably not, if I had to guess. I think there was actually a commit that went in recently that affected whether you can blind these things, or whether they can see invisible, or something like that. By recently, I mean like a couple of hours ago, so it's probably not even live yet, but they are making a change that's somehow related to monsters seeing things. I didn't follow it too closely. But, you know, that's... Oh, this looks like... Actually, this looks like Orcish Mines? No, there's not enough orcs. It's probably an altar vault. I mean, there's got to be altar vaults here somewhere. What gods have we not seen? Like, a lot of them? This is really weird. Where are they all? Are they all right in here? where is, yeah, kill the Orc Warrior. Oh, I see, the Orc Warrior did die. Now we just have to Takima's the new Orc Warrior. Which one of these is, okay, that's the Dancing Battle Axe, and that's just some crap on the ground. Okay. Okay, we're running low on MP here. Kind of annoying. But we'll just back off. And there are a lot of orcs in there. I don't know, it could be Orcish Mines, couldn't it? 9 to 12, I think? Yeah, 9 to 12. Yeah, it is. It's orc. All right. So where's the dang altars at? That's what I want to know. There's like a bunch of altars missing. They must all be in like one big altar vault, which happens. I mean, there's vaults with like 5 altars or something. There's your Red Lemnul. Okay. All by himself. Herself, itself, whatever. Oh yeah, Takima's, take that. You don't have a Mace of Crushing anymore, or Flail, I guess. I can't do that, it would hit. Oh, this thing's immune to electricity, isn't it? That's fine. Nice. I'm glad I found that book. The Enchanter starting book has some pretty good spells in it. Even better if we were actually going to stab things, but this is good enough as it is. A lot of killer bees. Fine. Zap goes through them all. Oops, let's back off. I'm bouncing it like this. A, so it hits this guy twice, and B, so it hits whatever's behind him, which there probably is twice. So like this is getting at least 3 and probably 5 hits, whereas this would just be getting like 4 and then hitting me as well. So, all right, there may actually be nothing behind it. That's interesting. Oh, I never thought about doing it that way. I was thinking like I can't shoot it here because it hits me, but if you do this, it goes around the corner a little, which I never thought of before. That's pretty cool. But this is actually, yeah, I don't know, whatever. This hits the guy in the corner twice, which is nice. And this hits that guy twice. This is actually way better than the shot I was making earlier. Okay, whatever. I guess I should have drunk some blood there. I had to stop and like conjugate a bit there. Is it drink? Drank? It was drunk though, was the right verb. What on earth? Did I miss them in temple somewhere? What is going on? No? How can I have missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gods? I guess they're all upstairs on Dungeon 8, right? With Arolka. Because that's about the only area I missed, isn't it? And there's a big vault right in the middle, so that could be a bunch of gods, I guess. Did I miss anything on 7? No. Well, let's go up to 8, I guess. And if we still don't find them there, I'm going to be real confused. I think this is the second video I've done where like I was looking for a particular god and just couldn't find them for forever. And it turned out like I had missed them. So I must be giving the impression that like I'm really bad at exploring, I guess. All right, what's the plan here? Maurice. Can we just deal with him? That would be all right. Like his only spells, the only way he can do damage is melee. Which we should be able to dodge fairly often. We can see invisible, so that's an advantage he has over most characters, is that when he's invisible, you get much reduced evasion. But Yeah, let's just try to kill him, see how it goes. Oops, I shot nothing. He has a wand of fire. Wow. Okay, well, let's Takima his dagger away at least. And bounce there? It's not really very effective. Okay, the bolt of fire didn't hurt very much, but it could hurt quite a bit if he gets a luckier roll. And I would like to get the wand away from him if I could. Nice. And the wand is empty. Well, fine. Okay, it looks like between me and the dagger, we're gonna probably get him. Got him, nice. There's some experience, an empty wand, and a cloak. Wear the cloak. It's cursed, but I really don't care. I don't need to take it off for pretty much any reason. And now we have a Rolka. So how do you approach a Rolka here? Because she could do a lot of damage with one of her spells. I feel like the thing to do... She can't hear me. There she goes. I wanted to be in bat form so I could get away as quickly as possible without her getting a chance to nail me with, you know, God knows, banishment or something. All right, let's go back into normal form so we can deal with whatever threats are in this area. Okay. Yeah. So this, look at this, it's like a hexagon, and we're missing 6 gods. Yeah, there's Okawaru, Quaslal, Kybriados, Vehemet. I guess there's 7, huh? Because there's a thing on this end as well. So there's probably a duplicate of somebody in here. I mean, there must be, right? Ash. Trog. This last one better be Kiku, man. Alright, I'll take it. Kiku, yes, please. I'm in. Sign me up. Alright, so that was almost the longest I've gone ever in terms of duration before finding a god. But we finally did it, and with Animate Dead online, I'm feeling pretty happy about being able to deal with stuff in Lair. Having zombies on command as soon as we get to 1 pip of piety. Or I guess it's 2? 1? I think it's 1. You don't get your first gift until 2. I don't know. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2. Either way, zombies are great, and we can make some. So I'm gonna, next video, start going deeper in dungeon. We didn't find Lair yet, and I don't really want to go to Orc first, so it's gonna be dungeon 10. If it's still not there, I might try Orc before heading to dungeon 11. I don't know, but we'll do maybe a little of Orc, maybe a little of the dungeon, and then Lair. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.